a meeting of the Marina Advisory Committee. It is Wednesday, September the 2nd at 7 p.m. Actually, we're starting at 7:03. And we'll open the meeting with announcements, open session, and public comments. Does anybody have any announcements? Okay.
No.
Any public comments?
Well, I was going to say, if you want to, I'll be vice chairman again. If you want to.
All right.
I elect Walter as vice chairman.
Who was that who nominated?
That was me, Flip.
I'll second.
Second is
John.
Gone.
John. I'm taking the minutes here, so bear with me. Walter has had an awakening. I guess you want the
Yeah, I need the money.
Salary that goes with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I need the money, the big bucks. Yeah.
All
Talk
right.
to you after the meeting, Walter. I have something else for you to get involved with.
Oh no.
It's educational.
Oh, that's even worse.
Are there any public comments? Hearing none, we will move on to the minutes dated August the 5th, which I sent out to everybody. Does anybody have any comments, corrections, amendments to offer?
Nothing
John's
other.
amendment, I think, was a good one.
Say that again?
The John's comment was a good one. It's the National Marine Fisheries Service
Right,
instead of Natural Marine.
right. Any others?
Uh,
Any others? Do we have a motion?
I'll move to
I
make
motion.
motion.
I'll second it.
John moved and Martha will second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any disapprovals? Okay, we should also take the vote on Walter for vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I guess me too.
Any disapprovals? Okay, unanimous on both of those. Moving on, we have the harbor master report. Will?
We are winding down. It's kind of been slow the past couple days at the harbor. This month, we just got the MiFi up and running yesterday for the fuel docs. So the credit card machine so far is working great and way faster. We still have the software update for the main system, but the credit card machine is running well there at the fuel shack so far today and last night, which is a positive sign after not having it for a little bit. That was obnoxious. Yeah, I don't think we're getting ready for the dredging, obviously. That's coming up the end of the month, and they're coming in, getting ready to go. We just got word that there'll be a pre-meeting Wednesday the 9th, hopefully. What's that? With Cashman and the Army Corps, so that'll be good to kind of get a heads up on how things are going to.
That's September the 9th, Will?
Yeah, that's what they're asking for. They just sent out an email a couple minutes ago, about an hour ago.
And what time is that?
I'm not sure. That's a debate right now, and even the date is a preferred date. But we have to obviously get the fire chief and the police chief involved. So as long as that works out for the three of us, then and the dredging company and the Army Corps, then it'll be a go for the meeting.
Cashman got the contract, right?
Yes.
Captain got it, yes. They're a
And that would
well-known
be-
contractor in the greater Boston area.
Yeah, they
have
did it last time.
Dredging in Boston Harbor.
Yeah. Also still waiting on the last permit for the mooring area. That still hasn't changed. So
Yeah.
still waiting on that and working on it. As far as everything else goes, is now we're looking towards the fall and dredging, getting the moorings out. We're going to stop renting moorings this weekend. It'll be our last Monday day. So Sunday night will be our last night. And then we'll have them all pulled out and get ready for them, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
So you'll start pulling the moorings out after Sunday, is that correct?
After Monday.
Mhm.
Yeah. And look forward to the fall when we can put some stuff together, get some things done. One thing we'd like to visit this fall is the fees, the marina fees. So I would like to put that on a future agenda with the Marina Advisory Committee, is to look at the fees and see what we can increase, how we can increase it, and start getting the revenue up. I know this weekend alone, well, for the weekend, so this week, Monday, yesterday, and today, I probably have turned away 10 boats that wanted moorings, at least, just for this weekend, because of the lack of dredging under the transient moorings, which will be changed next year. So, things like that, we're pretty cheap, I mean, you bring in a 40-something foot sailboat for $39, and you got water under it all the time, and stuff like the lunch dockage. I find that the least, the things that we have the smallest fee for example, the lunch dockage, requires the most amount of work from us, which I guess is pretty typical in life, but I think we need to value ourselves a little better than we do. This is a destination. People are coming here. As everyone's seen on the weekend, man, this place is jammed. And that's only going to get busier. So at the least we could do is get a little more money out of it. Pay for the
Agree.
maintenance of the harbor. So, and we are cheap compared to everywhere. So, I don't think we need to be the most expensive, but hey, let's stop undervaluing ourselves. So that's about it.
Okay, the next item is Marina concerns and suggestions. Anybody have any comments?
Are we
Uh,
going to readdress the parking issue too at some point?
Yeah, I think we really need to visit that in the future. Oh yeah, Martha, you said about I know we're talking about rules and regulations posting in the marina, and one thing I thought of based on what you said was if we did have like a nice poster board, an all-season poster board put up of all the rules and regulations, and kind of like a map of the harbor or the slips and docks, we could kind of, instead of trying to explain it to people and have them visualize everything, along with the rules, we could have an area where we could go and show them and just point to an overall nice made up map and kind of, welcome to Wellfleet Harbor. This is our rules and regs. This is the layout. Here's what you do, where you go, that sort of thing. And I think that and the parking, we do need to address going forward.
Yeah,
We did have this, what is it, the map that came out? I have one of them right in front of me that somebody made one year that has like a map of the whole harbor, and
We did a map back.
was it the
Harbor Fest did a map. We put a brochure together
This one?
at the time with a map on it, kind of depicting everything that could be
Is
handed
this
out
it?
to people that came in. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah,
And maybe
that's a
we could,
great little map.
maybe we could revisit that again at some point. But also that area, like right opposite the bathroom there, that's on the Harbor Masters building, that whole wall of the building is totally empty. You know, we could, you know, put up maybe a nice bulletin board there with that, with something like that map on it, maybe a little bit bigger, depicting where all the moorings are and all the transient docks and.
Yeah, something more detailed of the marina itself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good harbor map, though. It does show
Yeah,
people
the general
like a
harbor,
couple
yeah.
of the major rocks. It shows it's very adequate for.
Yeah, the initial intent with that too was for people that come in that, you know, aren't totally familiar with the harbor to know where all the what all the shellfish markings are too.
Exactly. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I mean, if some guy comes in here from Plymouth or, you know, wherever, and he has no idea what all the white buoys are, you know, and he's got a big sailboat and he runs a keel over it, you know.
We have one that we give out, which maybe if it was displayed, would be even better, and then we could still give out the handheld, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a,
Well,
Yeah,
I think
good
it's
idea.
kind of an educational thing, I think, too, for, you know, the boaters, but for everybody else that's down there.
right.
And don't forget
But we
the sign.
also, you know, we've talked about this whole parking issue for years. And, you know, and I think sooner or later, you know, it's going to come to a real head in terms of what we're going to do with it, because it just seems like there's more and more, you know, people utilizing, you know, the restrooms down there. Once the harbor gets dredged, there'll be more people. And, you know, there's more kayaks and there's, you know, more people launching, you know, boats.
Joe, when you were with the parking task force, did you guys meet with the company that has the you know, online or the telephone parking meters like they have in Provincetown?
Yeah, we did meet with one company who
Yeah.
gave us an overview. If you look at the final dredging task force parking report and recommendations, a lot of it is addressed in there. I wrote the section on marina parking, and the conclusion by everybody was that that's an issue ultimately that's going to land on the laps of the select board, especially with the advent of dredging, with the anticipated increased demand. My own opinion, I don't see them acting on that anytime soon, because I think they're waiting for dredging. Anybody else have any concerns or suggestions?
Yeah, last meeting we talked about a kind of a warning sign at the ramps saying, you know, people are backing up here, be careful, or something like that. I just want to make sure that gets mentioned again. I think that's an important one, considering we did have a pretty good accident there this year.
Yep.
Actually, someone hit our post too with their boat, so we need to replace
I was there when that happened.
it. Yeah,
I've
Yeah.
come close, but never hit it.
yeah.
Well, some people do play chicken.
Yeah. The other question that I have is, has anyone met the new town administrator?
I have.
No.
I took her for a boat ride.
Oh, really? How
to-
good.
Yeah, to show her the marina and show her the harbor as a whole. Yeah, it was a nice, pleasant experience.
She seemed like a nice person.
Yeah, for sure. And she seems very into the harbor and the marina, waterfront, you know, environmental concerns. You know, she seems really into it. So that's really good.
Well, hopefully
Anybody
after
else?
town meetings through, we can have her as a guest at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Anybody
I
else?
agree.
Yeah,
John?
yeah, I heard the word rocks mentioned a couple of minutes ago. This is something I was wondering about. I had someone out on my boat the other day who brought it up too. Buoy Rock over by Great Island, Old Saw, and whatever that rock is off of Indian Neck. I don't know if it has a name.
Big
or
one?
not.
Blue
The
Rock.
big-
Well,
Blue Rock.
Huh?
Blue Rock, Whale Rock, whatever. Yeah.
Whale
Hell Rock, Blue Rock.
Yeah. What would be involved, or would it be a complicated and expensive proposition to buoy those, to mark them? Especially whale rock, that's just below the surface at high tide. I'm surprised nobody's discovered it the hard way.
They're on the
So-
charts.
Well,
Yeah,
I
Which
know,
one is that, John?
but
they're all on the charts.
we have a lot of people out there that don't use charts.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of boating. You got to read your charts.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
But so we are getting a buoy, I believe, through for science and data monitoring for Old Saw, but I believe that's through them, and that should be coming up. But the problem we have with that is if we mark some rocks, that is giving the assumption to everyone else that there are no other rocks.
Ah, that's a good point.
Because if you saw, a couple rock buoys, you'd be sort of, okay, those are where the rocks are, so we're good everywhere else.
We don't have to look.
Yeah.
So you get the smallies.
Yeah, complicated sort of issue with all.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
There was a buoy on Blue Rock for a number of years. I remember that being out there, but not recently.
And
Yeah,
then
we
one,
had one. Go ahead, Will.
sorry, I was saying one thing I've noticed too is buoying the rocks, like the one we had on Old Saw there. When we put out the mooring in the swing and scope of the buoy itself, kind of added for a lot of a big margin of error. So you did have one that said rock, but if you have the 10 to 12 foot tide plus the line, and then where it could swing on a lower or half tide before the rock shows up, you could be one side of the rock or the other too.
True.
But
Yeah, it's always been marked back in the day, black and red, and you just stay away from the thing. It's plain and simple. But yeah, I get your point about not wanting to mark one rock because then everybody's going to assume that just the big rocks are marked. But that's a lot of maintenance for you guys, not really on your scope of work.
John, there's a bunch of rocks on the inside of that blue rock too that you should be careful of. If you take that
yeah.
sailboat in there's a couple of
Yeah.
other big buoys that are tucked in right off Indian Neck there. You got to be
Yeah.
careful.
They're all over the
Between-
place.
Between number 10 and Lieutenant Island, there's a whole bunch of rocks.
Oh yeah.
A whole
Yeah.
bunch of rocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used
And
to fish out there at-
Smalley's Bar. I'm
Yeah.
surprised people don't get. I mean, I've gone by a couple of them over there at mid tide, going, "Oh my God, I'm so glad I missed that." There's
Yeah.
they're
South of Buoy Rocks, up in that corner, there's a pile of rocks there too.
yeah. So I mean, they're there.
Oh yeah,
I
not
think
Maine,
on,
but they're there.
I
It's
think on
not.
some.
It's not the.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's nothing marking Billingsgate's rocks, and those are really bad.
Yeah. I suppose I haven't had any problem out there. I have more problems on land. I hit a deer about 2 hours ago.
Ooh.
Oh Jesus! Did you bring them home?
No, there wasn't enough left of it.
Ooh.
Oh jeez. God.
My van,
How's your van?
it's going to be headed to the body shop as soon as I can make an
Sure.
arrangement.
Were you
Could have
on
been worse.
Were you on the highway?
Yeah, I was on Route 6 in North Truro.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, they're moving.
It was airborne when I hit it, so the windshield got a lot of it.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Want to mention I did receive one concern from a boater that was upset that he remarked that a lot of power boaters are not honoring the no wake zone. And he had a suggestion next year that it be the marker begin at the breakwater.
That's what I suggested last year,
Yes.
and I caught a lot of crap for it. But yeah, I think it needs to be opposite the breakwater, and it should be bigger, if possible.
I didn't see too much abuse of it this year, personally.
No, but nobody needs to be doing 30 knots inside the breakwater, you know?
Well, the problem is people slow down to 15, which is worse for wake.
Any other concerns? Okay, dredging update. We have a dredging meeting coming up on September 9th, 10th, tentative, next week.
The 10th?
And that's tentative. They're still waiting for members to offer comments about any conflicts. The challenges remain, one, dealing with natural marine fisheries, and the dredging committee has delegated Harry Turkanian, who is on the committee as a contributing member, not as a full member, and me to formulate a strategy with the committee on dealing with the natural marines fisheries service issue. The other concern is the state budget. I don't think anybody knows at this point in time, when the time comes to do match funding with Wellfleet, how much they're going to be willing to offer because of the financial strains on the state now, primarily due to the COVID. I know the tax revenue income is down considerably. So that's a matter of waiting. And I suspect we will know more after the first of the year when they begin actively formulating budget plans and debating it. Cashman got it, as we said, and I think the Army Corps and a lot of people feel good about that because of the quality of the work, and they do, and the work in Boston Harbor. We know that Senator Markey is going to remain as our senator, which is probably good news given the work he's done in the past for us on dredging. So that's about it on that issue. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Did you have a meeting with the dredging task force recently?
Couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think with this next meeting, things are going to be more revved up because the picture is clearer now. Okay. You know, I've read in several documents, primarily Army Corps documents, that their requirement is that all boats and moorings be out of the water by September 15th. But I haven't heard anything further, and I don't see any real activity. Have you heard anything, Will?
September 15th is for that general area, which we've already started clearing out and giving them slips to go into. That was now that the boats have seemed to be moving this past weekend, a couple of days, we have a bigger rush. I know probably, I think 4 of them were assigned on Monday in that area. And so we're just pushing them right along. I know Bay Sales and Wellfleet Marine are both been notified and ready to go. We're taking those out, and yeah.
What's the start date?
October 1st.
October 1st.
Okay, that's what I thought. So can you clarify exactly what they're doing to, just so I'm a little vague on what this first part of this is going to actually do for dredging?
Well, it's the channel.
The channel from the jetty in, right, to the boat ramp.
12 can. 12 can.
12 can.
12 can. Okay, all right.
And going
To the
up.
boat ramp.
No.
Yeah.
No, the federal
Not the
base,
boat
the
ramp.
federal mooring base.
Not the boat, but Okay, so, okay. The federal mooring basin. Okay, gotcha.
So it would be the channel in to the mooring from the 12 can into the mooring basin area. And the first couple rows of moorings, basically our transient moorings plus a couple, are in that federal anchorage area that'll be dredged. So it'll be kind of like a rectangle at that area. And then we're trying to work on the piggyback dredging of the boat ramp and the fuel dock area as well as a separate task.
For this year, Will?
That's
Hopefully.
correct. Yeah, that would be, the RFP is in, and that would be if time permits. You know, it's really a time.
It's a time thing, and we need that permit for the project to get it done from from the Army Corps for the whole thing. So we need that permit as well, kind of settled.
What are you gonna do about, just a quick question, what are you gonna do about the fuel dock? You're gonna pull that out early, or are you gonna leave it in for a while?
That'll probably be, if this all goes through and we get the piggyback dredging, then that'll be like, let's rush and get it all out. Otherwise, it'll stay in place because Cashman will need that fuel dock as well. Most
Okay.
likely they'll be purchasing fuel from us, and boaters will need it. But otherwise, it'll be probably a team effort, and hurry up and pop them out real quick if we do get it, which we'll have a couple weeks advance notice to know that we're going to get it, obviously.
I'm thinking about my traps. I want to get them out of the water.
You'll be all
You
right.
know that once the dredging starts, it'll be done 24/7. So that's
Awesome.
that's a positive, you know, with a company that's been around and they know what they're doing.
I have a couple
That's
of
good.
questions.
John?
One question is, what effect will that have on just day-to-day navigation operations, for just boating and chartering and stuff?
You're going to
Get out
have a
of the
large
way.
barge and scows in the middle of the channel.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
can get around it.
Yeah, yep.
And if you're going out at night, well, I'd study up on your lights.
Lights?
On the lights, yep, absolutely. And the other question is, it sounded like, is Cashman going to be the contractor for Area 1 and 2, or do we not know that yet?
No, that's to be decided. They got the contract to do the channel.
Oh, okay. And that meeting you mentioned, that's on the 10th?
It is not finalized.
Oh, okay.
It's been proposed originally on the 9th and now on the 10th, but there's several other meetings that day, so it has not been finalized. I'm
Okay.
sure it'll be finalized by Friday, and it'll be on the town calendar.
Okay.
And that meeting with the pre-dredge meeting is already been told that it has to remain a small number of people. So only a few people are going to be allowed into that meeting.
Oh, so it's not going to be Zoom?
It will be for us, but it's not going to be an open meeting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, any other comments? All right. Any new business or future concerns? Hearing none? No? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll
Make
make
a
a
motion.
motion to adjourn.
John, and who will second?
I'll second it.
Martha will second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And we're talking about, before you go, another meeting. And on the calendar, it looks like September 30th would be 4 weeks from now. How does that sit with everybody's schedule?
I'm wide open.
Okay with me.
Should
Yeah.
work
All
for
right.
me.
Here.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, so we put it down then for.
Putting it in.
Pardon?
Putting it in.
Putting it on.
September 30th at 7. Hopefully, one of these days, be able to meet in person.
Oh, we could always do it outside.
Well, you know,
I just have one comment on the 30th date. I was wondering maybe we should wait till they start dredging. Maybe we should postpone it for a week till the 7th.
October 7th, good idea.
What do you think?
That's probably
and
a
then
good
we'll know
idea.
what's happening a little bit with the dredging.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like
And
that.
How do people feel about that?
It's good with me.
Yeah?
Okay.
Seems like that's fine. I just gotta figure out how to put it on my calendar now and delete it.
Do a little edit thing there, Cliff.
Yeah, I'm
There's
looking.
delete event.
Delete
So
event. Okay.
I'll put it down for
Yeah. It says delete.
October 7th.
On the bottom, it says delete.
October 7th.
Yeah.
You know, a while back, I did broach the possibility of meeting in person, maintaining distance. And it was not looked favorably upon, not yet. So we did try.
Yeah.
There's
Doesn't
still
surprise me.
real concerns out there. Yeah.
I'd only known I could have brought some venison.
Oh, I've been fresh.
Already ground, right?
Yeah, ground beef.
I'm interested in,
Tartar.
I'm interested in comments. You know, we a number of times have gone to Count Hollow Beach, and I found that people there were distancing a good 15 feet, you know, if not more. Did anybody have any observations at the other beaches, at Newcomb?
Newcomb's is a joke. It's
Right.
it was free for all over there this summer.
Really?
It was, yeah, there was, you know, they tried their best, but the beach was tiny. It's a very small beach. It's
Yeah.
very narrow.
Yeah.
And
Lot
I
of
think the
room
majority
to
of people were, yeah, there's much more remote accounts. And on some of those high tide days over at Newcomb's, there's no way to avoid walking by somebody but you know, we're all still alive. I think the majority of COVID in this area is not really too bad. So we're you know, doing our best. We really are.
Everybody seems to be wanting to comply.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see
We
a
want to
lot
stay
of people
green.
that.
Okay,
We
well,
want
thank
to, we want to stay green.
We'll see you on October 7th at 7 p.m. Thank you.
All right. Good night. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Night,
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
night.
Night, John Boy.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.